Haha, we're live. Probably.
We are live, baby.
We're live. We're live and live.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I think Spencer and I are going to let Gabby do the honors and open this up. So, Gab, go ahead. Do your thing.
Well, hey guys, I'm Gab. Thanks for stopping in. If you want to hit my channel, I'm almost at 2K subs, and I'm here with King Narukami and Spencer, and we're gonna talk about some Persona goodness tonight.
Persona goodness. I always love me some Persona goodness. How about you, Spencer? You love yourself some Persona goodness?
I do, but I was thinking about this, and I want to ask everyone this, whether it be live or you guys. What do you call a birthday party anniversary but before? Because I was looking at the title in the show notes, we have Anniversary Eve. But, like, I feel like there should be, like what's, like, another word we can do for, like... Because it's not like tomorrow news will drop,
right.
Although that would be hilarious. So, like, what would you
Right.
guys call, like, the basically, I was going to say pre-cum.
The
like,
Precursor to the Persona 25th anniversary.
Yeah, precursor
Yes.
seems much better than that. Precursor is a much better
precursor.
word.
I think it'll explain what people want, or it'll explain it better to people.
And it'll make people want to play Jak and Daxter.
Or
I
you
like
could
Jak and
say
Daxter.
the prequel to the anniversary.
Oh, do you guys remember that one time Borderlands made a pre-sequel and no one ever did that? I thought, when I heard that word, I was like, pre-sequel is so brilliant. Someone else has to use that. Never again.
Oh, yeah, that one Borderlands 1.5 or whatever it
Mhm.
was. I remember that. Is it on the Switch collection?
It's on everything, man. It's on everything.
I love it. Guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Link 233 of Shin Megami Tensei Network and episode 8 of the King's Game podcast. King Narukami here, Spencer here, Gab here. We're excited you're all here tonight. Thank you so much. As you know, tomorrow is the, it could be the start of the 25th anniversary.
Don't even do that to people. Don't even be like, oh, man. Because then we're gonna become the annoying Nintendo fan base. Like, do you guys remember in May? It felt like every day in May, guys, the Switch Pro announced tomorrow. Switch Pro,
Oh my God.
any day now, guys. It's happening tomorrow.
You know when it didn't happen? One of my friends was livid when it was the OLED and not a Switch Pro. He's like, "What is this crap?"
It's funny too because like I know what OLED is, but every time I see the Switch OLED, I just look at Switch old. It's really weird. Like in my brain, I just look at it and go, Switch old. Okay, it's the old Switch.
I'm so mad at the Switch OLED. It should have been the Switch Pro.
I mean, that's its own thing. Honestly, especially because I've been playing so much my Switch this year, I thought I would feel that way, but the more I keep playing my Switch, I'm like, my current Switch is still great. Like, it does everything I need it to. I don't need that to be a 720p OLED screen. Like, even though I love OLED and everything for it, like, the stuff, like, it's like, if you're gonna buy it, you're not gonna regret your purchase, but if you're not gonna buy it, you're still gonna enjoy all your games on it.
It's a good idea. I still would have preferred a Switch Pro, but we still see. I remember, wasn't it GameStop Canada or was it like Walmart Canada that tweeted Switch Pro is trending again? Please stop it or something like that.
Probably Walmart Canada Gaming because they actually like to do the memes more than anyone, and that's only like you guys remember why Walmart Canada Games is like a meme account, right?
I do
No.
not.
Okay, so literally, probably 2018. Walmart Canada leaked every single Microsoft and Bethesda game by putting up the pre-orders a week early. And what was so funny about that was that everyone was like, oh, this is way too many games. This can't be real. And it ended up being real. And what was so funny about it was they got so in on the joke. If you look it up, Walmart Canada did exclusive pre-order bonus covers where, you know how sometimes for retailers, when there's no real cover, they'll just do all black for the cover, and then in plain white text, they'll put the title of the game. They did that for when those games came out. So, like, Rage 2 has a super generic-looking cover, but it was actually officially endorsed by Walmart Canada and, like, Bethesda. So, like, they were that in on the joke of it.
I did not know that whatsoever.
That was your fun, random piece of gaming history for the day. I have a weird question for the two of you before we get into our topic, though, because this has been on my mind for a while. Gab, I first have a question for you. What is the parameter to being in the Mew crew And have you ever like had like someone be like, "Hey, I need to know how to join this"?
No one's ever asked how to join. I just assumed people would understand. I guess like subscribing, being a part of the community would be my answer, but like there's no definitive thing that makes you part of it. I mean, other people use Mew Crew as well. I don't really care, but
There are other. We got copycat Mew Crews.
Yeah, I found it like a Twitch streamer. He was using it like a couple people. I'm like, can you guys not see that the hashtag already has stuff on it, but you're continuing to use some. Some of them are actually, I think, bigger than me.
There's only one
yeah,
Mew
it looks
Crew,
like someone
Mew
even
Crew
made a
in our
team
heart.
called Mew Crew.
Well, it's okay. You got the SEO down at least. At least for my Google search happens.
The
if anyone
irony,
looks it
though,
up.
is that if you search Twitch Mew Crew, my Twitch channel pops up first. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's all.
The real Mew Crew.
That's all you really need. And then, so the other one for this, King, for you, I was wondering, when it came to naming yourself King Narukami, did you ever think to yourself, I can now never act high and mighty, or my name just immediately makes me look like a huge douche?
I've already gotten that hate on Twitter before.
Well, I've seen it like once or twice, but more so from like just like silly stuff. But I was just like thinking about it of like, I can't think of like any other like examples for it, but like when people have like unfortunate names or whatever for like things that happen later down in life, of just being like, oh god, why did I have to like do this and then X or Y happened? Like, what was like the thought process behind it of like, well, I like this character and I want to stick with it, or I really like the King's game from the anime. Like, what was the like standout that was like, this has to be the name?
It was on the way to a steakhouse from Mother's Day when I came up with the name for some ungodly reason, because I had just finished watching the P4 anime, and that really stuck out to me. I love the King's game, so I was like, "Hey, King Narukami." I haven't really seen people call themselves that before, and just stuck. I mean, before I was Majin Hornet, that was Vegeta, or just a Dragon Ball reference, including with Charlotte Hornets, my favorite NBA team. But now it's a little more on brand, King Narukami. So,
man,
I never thought about it backlashing though.
I am so sad now. I opened up a fresh Google account just to check this. I was like, I wonder how much SEO Narukami has. And unfortunately, Narukami is a name of a character from Card Fight Vanguard, who pops up first. Narukami as a character seems to be more popular, but apparently Card Fight Vanguard has a Narukami who is more popular. Oh no, it's a clan! It's not even a character. That makes it even more insulting.
I've never seen Vanguard in person. I've seen mats before. I've only seen them in Yu-Gi-Oh! Shops before, though I've actually never seen a Vanguard card in my life.
I'm into Weiss Schwartzmore, which they are like all created from like the same brand, but like I'm sure they're all fine, but like my wallet and my brain can't handle TCGs anymore, just because it's like I can barely like keep up to date with like games, books, and movies, so like card games had to go really hard.
Well, that's why you get a Legacy of the Duelist for Switch.
No. Card games
Yes.
Card games aren't fun without actually having the cards, in my opinion. Like, Gab, are you into any like collectible cards?
Nah, not really.
Your wallet appreciates it. Keep it that way. Don't ever change. Don't add.
I
I
just
used to
meant-
play Magic, but
Oh, that stinks. I hate Magic. I'm sorry, Gab.
Well, the weird thing with Magic is, I feel like I've never known someone who loves Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! You either like one or the other. Like, you can like Pokemon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon in Magic, or even play like some weird like the Final Fantasy TCG is really fun, and then play Magic. But I've never known someone who likes both, and I always wondered why that was.
Tried Magic when I was smaller and just never got into it. So I don't think the cards are as cool as Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I don't know. I guess that's just me.
Okay, then Gab, the other question for you, then what got you into Magic as opposed to other card games?
my friends were playing it, and I wanted to play with them.
It's a low threshold. I almost did that for Pokemon, but I was like, nah, I'd rather have no friends than play Pokemon TCG. I'm good.
You know what, guys? As much as I would love to talk about TCGs all night, let's start the show, shall we? Y'all good with that?
All good.
All right.
Yeah.
So the topics for tonight include our favorite Persona games and memories, of course, predictions for Persona's 25th anniversary, and maybe even possibilities of remasters or remakes. We're going to give our opinions on that. So, favorite games and memories is up first. So, we're all here because of Persona, SMT franchise, and everything. But I don't think I've ever gone on record to say what got me into the series. I don't know if you guys either. So, how did you guys get into the Persona or Shin Megami Tensei franchise as a whole?
Gabby, you want to go first?
Do you want me to? I'll go first, I guess. Well, to be honest, it started with one of my other creator friends talking about Persona and hyping it up constantly. This was before 5 came out. So, he was waiting, a few years for that, hyping it up. And I guess I tried Shin Megami Tensei 4. Like, that was the first one I bought and tried. And I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with that one. Then I went back and played, like, Persona 4 on the PS2 and yada yada and continued. I guess some of my favorite moments are probably on P4 on the PS2 because I had really close combat calls. And it was just fun. I don't know. I had fun with it while I played it.
It's always a good thing. Spencer.
Well, like... sorry.
Go ahead, Gap. Finish your thought process.
Well, the last thing I was gonna say was, I just remember one time I got hit by a boss and had 1 HP, the entire party was dead, and the only one alive was you, and I was like, how is that even possible? He's poisoned, too.
Saying you got hit by a boss is like naturally close to saying I got hit by a bus and I got really concerned for a moment.
It was a really close death, and I was like, how did I survive this match? Like, I should have died. I had 1 HP, I was poisoned. It didn't make sense to me. The RNG god smiled upon me.
So is that also OG, like PS2, P4, or Golden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Golden's not on the PS2.
Well, that's a good point. You could put it on there, but it won't be able to play very well. I guess if I had to go next, I've talked about it way too much, but getting into it, I'm one of the few people I know who actually started with Revelations in 96. So I was, I don't think I played it in 96, because I remember picking it up at a Bookman's in Arizona way back when. I got a used copy, because fun fact, Revelations is rated KA for everybody because it's a baby game. So I was able to play that one no problem. It was mind-blowingly hard. I'd played Final Fantasies and stuff at the time, but my PlayStation library wasn't super deep at the time because I probably played it like I was maybe 5 or younger. And I was so intrigued by the game, and I thought it was so funny of even with it how whitewashed Revelations was, I could not get over how hard some of the moves and the names were still for me to like read at the time. So I just remember being like having to explain to people like that's the fast attack, that's the lightning attack, that's the fire attack, and I bet you if you had told me after beating that game, which took me RPGs just literally used to take me years. Like, beating a RPG would take me years, like, as a dumb kid. And I bet if you, like, came up to me the next day after I beat it and be like, hey, what was that ending? Like, I don't fucking know. I have so many memories of playing Persona 1, but I have so few, like memories of, like, talking about it or, like, talking about the plot and the story. It was just the characters, the gameplays, and the demons, and, like, the music. And it was just so funny to me, by, like, how comparison, like, when I would play Final Fantasy, all my friends would be playing Final Fantasy, and I never had any friends growing up and do Persona for the longest time, like until high school. So Revelations was really, really fun in terms of a starting point, mostly due to the fact that I couldn't share it with anyone until like I got much older and being an adult now.
How old were you when you picked it up?
Like I said, I was at least 5 or younger, because it came out when I was 3. And I got it used a couple of years later. So I know I wasn't older than 5, so it was at least pre-Metal Gear Solid, so it would have been like 97, 98.
You still have your copy of Revelations?
Oh, God, no. No, dude, back in the day, no one was collecting unless you were like an adult. Like, if you wanted to buy games, you bought a game, you traded it in, you got the next game, and you traded that in when you were done. I didn't stop trading in games, unfortunately. till I got my PS3 in 2008. So I was in middle school at that time. So to afford a $600 Metal Gear Solid 4 PS3 bundle was about $600 plus dollars. Plus, of course, you had to buy Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit because, of course.
Oh yes.
So
Oh yes.
that was a ton of money at the time. No job, saving up for like $600 or $700 purchase. So I had to trade in my entire PlayStation, Game Boy, Wii, everything I owned basically outside of the essentials, like the essentials. I maybe kept Metal Gear, like Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3, Kingdom Hearts, and that was it. No, man, I sold Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. That was the funny part. Like, I sold so many classic games that, yeah, I could kick myself for, but, like, I am a weird collector in the sense of I like having stuff that I'm going to play now. Like, if I walked past I found a pretty cheap, ironically, copy of Persona 1 on PSP, because I even sold Persona on PSP at the time. I remember, like, I found it for, like, $80, brand new with everything, including the CD. I was like, that's a really good deal. But I stopped myself and I was like, yeah, it's a good deal, but it's like, I'm not going to play it anytime soon. Like, I have no, like, I have no reason to bust out my PSP, like, even though I still have it to play Persona 1, when I would rather just play the digital version on, my Vita. Yeah, so it's like I'm at least I try and like make sense when I'm like putting expensive purchases into my collection of like Persona 1, like all those PSP games, even though they go for a ton of money now, there's literally thousands of copies of all the Persona games ever printed. So like they're really not rare. So like I kind of look at it differently. That's why I always find it funny when like different collectors and stuff great example would be like David a year ago as opposed to now, how many like Atlas collectibles and things he's bought. Out of those games, I bet you he's probably played maybe like 10% of them. Because it's like I have no reason to go out and import a copy of Persona 1 on the PSX, the Japanese version. Even though that's a cool collectible to have, it's like I know I'm not going to play that anytime soon, so it's like it's just going to sit there and collect dust, and it's going to cost just as much now as it would today.
I did the same thing. I got Persona 1 for the imported version. The only reason I got it is because it's cheap. You can find it for dirt cheap on the internet.
Yeah, God bless the Japanese collecting market. Japan's at least a lot better than the West in terms of like they don't like it's hard to like find a Japanese game that's really expensive, which is usually good.
Gabby, do you import a lot of games?
Not really. To be honest, I only usually import if I want a game in English that's not coming here, but it's still gonna have English dialogue. So like Asian releases sometimes will do that, like Fatal Frame.
I was just gonna be like, you're not gonna tell me you're not importing Fatal Frame this year. I know you're gonna import Fatal Frame.
Probably gonna import Fatal Frame. But no, like my collection wise, I'm the same way. Like I'm not gonna import games I'm not gonna play. To me, that just doesn't make sense. But I could, get them online. So there's still that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So before I go into how I got into the Persona series, I just want to give a big shout out to Demi Crow, who donated $3 to the stream. Thank you so much. He asked, and this is something that we can all answer, I guess, right now. He's going to break the ice on this topic. What has a better chance of getting remade, P1, P2, or P3, guys?
I'll be honest and say, everyone says P3, but then I always go into that thing of, like, I hate being that guy. No, Atlas doesn't have the money to remake that, and they don't have anyone that they would hire to remake it. Like, so that's, like, the weird thing of, like, P3 is the smart answer, but, like, the best thing I would say is probably a remake/remaster of the PSP duology, and then call that a day first, because that would be way cheaper.
Gab? What do you think, Gabby?
I think it would be Persona 3. Just because it's the most recent and most notable one. I feel like if they did the other two games, it'd be, I don't know, probably like digital releases. I feel like they could do that.
Imagine if they remade Persona 2, but never remade Persona 1.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, they've already remade it, technically. Those PSP ones are basically remakes.
Right. But, like, a 2021 remake is what I'm getting at. But to answer your question, Demi Crow, I think P3 has the most chance of being remade, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, how I got into Persona, it's a long story, but Yakuza 0 actually helped me. I wasn't into anime. Someone recommended me Yakuza 0. I played it, loved it, got into other series, and I know my girlfriend really loved Persona 3, and that was it's still her favorite game. And so I was like, would I like Persona? Because Persona 5 was about to come out. She's like, no, you don't like JRPGs or anything. So I tried it once, put it down, sold it, bought it again a second time for dirt cheap, sold it again because I couldn't get into it. And then the third time, I bought it for $11.99 on PSN. So I'm like, shit, I'm stuck with this now. Might as well play it. And for some reason, it hooked me. So I fell in love with it then. Third time's the charm.
I need to, like, find someone who got into the series. I've heard a lot of weird stories. I need to find someone who got into Persona and SMT through the PlayStation Classic version of Revelations Persona. I've never heard anyone, like, play through that version of it.
It still shocks me that they included that on the PlayStation Classic to this day.
I mean, shocks you because, like, you wouldn't expect them to do it, or how come?
I mean, it's a hard-to-get game. It has a very outdated localization effort. I'm surprised that they would put it on that. That's what I'm saying, put it out in... When did it come out? 2019, 2020?
No, it was 2018. It was during the, like, God only knows what Sony was doing with their time. Yeah, I think it was 2018.
That PlayStation Classic was a flop. Everyone just used it to emulate stuff from what I understand.
Yeah, probably.
But that's how I got into the Persona series. I could have gone a lot more about that, but we're just going to go ahead and go to the next topic, if y'all don't mind, right quick. And that is your favorite Persona games, mainline and spinoff. Let's hear from our guest first, Spencer. Gab, right quick, what is your favorite mainline and spinoff Persona game?
My favorite mainline, I think I would probably pick P4. And when you say spin-off, do you mean like Shin Megami Tensei or like Persona spin-offs?
Persona spin-offs.
Persona 4 dancing. Easy.
Yes, that's the answer I was looking for, Gab. What makes you choose those two games? Do you have any special memories with them or anything?
Persona 4, I just like the cast and like the whole scenario a bit more than what we got in 5, and Persona 4 dancing was like my favorite. Out of all the dancing games, I don't know, it just felt like the buttons snapped in better and like it had better songs.
Did you play it on Vita?
It had a story mode. Yeah, I platinumed all of them.
Gotcha. It's such a good game. The best Persona spinoff, if you ask me. I adore dancing, but I want to hear Spencer's thoughts. What's his favorite mainline and spinoff Persona game?
So I'm going to go reverse. I'm going to do spinoff first. The one I enjoy playing the most is definitely dancing, but just so I don't repeat, my close second is going to be Ultimax, and that's just from a really, really biased standpoint of that game. It was just so essential to me for making SMTN, playing with friends, going to Evo to play it. It was just such like a fun like the 5+ years or so of like just every week playing Ultimax with friends online whenever I had the chance, and including the same thing with Arena. I've never had that with another release just because it was a fighting game. It was something that like was always going to be fresh and something you could go back to multiplayer wise, and something I just haven't really ever felt with like another kind of game, because like really the only chance you're going to really have at going back to a game is because I want to check it out again, or maybe there was another re-release. But just something about like that fighting game hit really, really good for me. And my controversial answer, which I will not be taking any questions on, my favorite mainline game, I've been thinking about this, and it's probably wrong, but I've been thinking very hard about this, is probably Persona 5 Strikers, because it is not classified as a not game. It is a continuation of 5, but it's not a spin-off. It's canon. And the more I think about it and play that game, and I haven't platinumed it like Gav has, so I probably would dock at some points if I had to go through the Bond experience, which I will one day. But I love that game of like, man, I loved that story. I loved those characters. I loved the music. I loved just I've played through it like 4 times, I think, now. And everything about it just hit me in such a good spot playing it not only in Japanese last year, but especially English this year.
And y'all remember that long wait that we had between the release of P5 Scramble in Japan and then the wait we had to go through for the release here in the US? It was almost a year, wasn't it?
It was dangerous.
That was not a fun.
Yeah, they announced it and it came out like that month. It was really weird, like crazy.
Let me tell you, we were talking about importing games. I literally imported a $300 version of Scramble from Japan. It was like the deluxe version. It had the CD and everything in it. And then a fucking month later, they announced the localization.
Well, yeah, they were waiting to sell that one
Peach
copy
Ball.
left. They were just waiting on that one.
Oh my god, that doesn't
That literally
surprise me.
happened to me with Peach Ball.
Don't you love it? You spend a lot of money on an import and then they just announce it. What happened with you and Peach Ball, Gab?
Oh, I pre-ordered the I imported it and then they announced the English version.
Oh,
I
boy,
learned my
know that.
lesson.
Yeah.
It was time for your lesson.
Oh my! Mine was how much did yours cost? Because my lesson was $300.
Mine was only like $100.
I got 3 times the lesson you did, and my wallet still cries about it today. Now, I want to thank Demi Crow again. Donated $1. Thank you so much. This isn't a question for y'all; it's for me. Since RGG Studio makes Monkey Ball, will you and David make Monkey Ball content on Kamurocho Bros?
That's a great question. You guys are a bunch of fucking cowards, man. That's why I had to make that video. No actual Yakuza fans had the balls, the monkey balls, to talk about Monkey Ball. It's always Yakuza this, Judgment this, Judge Eyes this. No one's Virtual Fighter that. No one's talking about Monkey Ball, man. What's going on?
I just never played it.
Cowards.
Never have.
Cowards.
Bro, shut up. We do what we want. Kamurocho Bros. Now, we've discussed it. We've definitely discussed it. And I think with Kiryu coming to Monkey Ball, I think there's a good possibility that we might.
I love that's what it took. Not the fact that they're by the same developer. It was that the Easter.
Oh.
So does that mean you guys are going to talk about Jet Set Radio now? What does this mean?
I've never played it. That's the thing.
Oh, that's actually more insulting that you've not played Jet Set Radio. That's a classic.
Oh, I know I got to at some point. I've seen a lot of people stream it before. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's just that we focus, Kamurocho Bros is about Kamurocho and Yakuza, and Judgment takes place in that world too.
I've been playing Judgment. I literally spent $9,000 on the Crane game picking up Monkey Ball characters. How much more related do you need this to get?
You like Judgment, right?
I'm loving Judgment. I'm playing it and I'm like, man, this is I can see why it failed in the West, because most people don't talk about it, but Judgment did not sell well, like ever. So it's kind of amazing they're trying so hard on the sequel, and God wish them luck. Like, very few people who were into Yakuza picked up Judgment because it was a PS4 exclusive. Came out at a weird time. And the remaster was extra weird because it was only on Xbox Series consoles, not Xbox One. Still no PC version, only on Stadia and the PS5 version. So it's in kind of a...
The PS4 didn't get the remaster either.
Well, the PS4 doesn't need it. It's one of those weird ones where, like with the Yakuza remasters, where they call it a remaster, but they really just kind of fucked with the lighting and skin filters. But that's a whole other conversation.
It's such a good game, though. I appreciate Judgment and them trying for the English dub. That was like, other than Yakuza 1, that was their first time trying at the English dub. So I appreciate that. Great game. But that answered Demi Crow's question. I think, what were we talking about?
We're talking about predictions next, man. We're talking about predictions. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're... but before we get into the predictions, I'm sorry. Shout out to H2DK, YouTube's donating $5 to the stream. He had nothing to say. He did it out of the kindness of his heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, favorite Persona game? P4G, favorite spinoff, P4D, easily. I love Persona 4 dancing with all my heart.
But have you platinumed it though?
Yes, I have.
How many times have you platinumed it? I need to fake fan you somehow.
Oh my god, one time.
Okay, so come back when you have platinumed it on the PlayStation 4 version, and then the Japanese PlayStation 4 version, and then the Japanese Vita version, and then
I am not insane like you, Spencer.
We'll maybe talk.
I'm not insane like you, sir.
That's true. I am pretty insane. But yeah, so I've also platinumed it for friends. I think I've platinumed dancing literally like 9 times. If anyone wants me to platinum dancing for them, because I've run out of versions for my own account, just bring your Vita or PlayStation to me, and I can make it happen in like 3 hours. If
I remember you saying that on your podcast about P4D. I think it was like a year ago that you platinumed it for other people before, and that just fucking blew my mind for some reason.
Literally, my last memory of doing it is I had my friend Waffles. We were waiting in line to actually see Lotus Juice perform live, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I just can't get this like last couple trophies." And I just remember like I was like, "Oh, give this to me," and I knocked out all the trophies needed for the platinum like before the concert even began.
Hey, y'all mind if I ask right quick, since we all love P4 dancing here, favorite song off of it?
Oh, that's tough. I don't remember the name, and I know this one's going to be really controversial. The remix of Shadow World.
Not the DD Mouse one. No!
I don't think it's that one. I don't think it's that one. Let me make sure. Shadow World P4D remix, because there's two remixes of Shadow World in there. That's why
Please
I need
don't
to.
tell me
No,
DD
it's the
Mouse.
Atlas. It's the Atlas Kozaka remix.
Okay.
Yeah, the Atlas.
Oh,
Kozaka
you almost
one.
got me a heart attack.
I'm trying to remember what the mine is called, so give me a second here.
Until then, I'll just be playing the DD Mouse one of doing.
Man, I can't believe that's official.
I love every track in all the dancing games, man. There's no bad remixes in my opinion. I think like
dude, the DD Mouse.
I think if you
all crack.
If you spend your online time complaining about a remix in a like 5+ year old dancing game, it's like the equivalent. Like it's like below Punching Down. Like
Bro, you are on crack.
I am on
think
crack.
that song's good. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good reason why.
Uh-huh.
Snowflakes and Arasaki remix for me. The one with Yukiko dancing on it. Shout out to Katana Riku. Me and him did a P4D tier list video, and he said, no, DD Mouse is trash. We could not stop laughing when that played. I swear, we were like cutting up so much. We couldn't breathe. Gab, did you find that song?
No. I would say, I guess, I don't know, the last one I listened to was, what was it? Reach Out to the Truth, but I can't find the one.
Ooh, is it the finale one? Like the extra long
That's
like
so
remix
good.
one? That's a really good one.
Yeah, with the guitar and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, where everyone's dancing. That's so good.
Those are so good.
Also, shout out to the Hatsune Miku Heaven remix as well. Very good.
Oh yeah,
Very,
I forgot
very
about
good.
that.
Very
Also,
good.
if anyone has the Hatsune Miku plushie of her in that game, I'm still looking to purchase it.
It's your white whale.
Hit me up. So, does anyone have this? Please, I'm looking for it.
Have you asked
Gab
LaRue?
on
I
Twitter.
feel like LaRue would have like 9 of those.
LaRue does not have it.
That's
But
funny.
I literally posted on my figure collection.
It's probably because it had Hatsune Miku. I feel like when you have
have
as much bullshit as LaRue does, any excuse to not collect it is probably a good one.
Bro,
7
look at
months
his
ago, I
room.
commented on it in my figure collection and said, if anyone wants to sell this, hit me up. I don't care if you see this comment like a year later. Like, I'll still
Okay,
answer you.
here's the $1 million question then. If you saw one, let's say you go to a convention tomorrow and you saw someone was there,
I
what's
wouldn't
the
see one. This is so old.
I know,
It's
but
really
that's why I'm saying
absurd.
like it's really weird, but you go somewhere tomorrow, you find it. What is the most you'd be willing to pay for it? Like, what price are we talking? Like, how rare is this?
That's a good question. Let me see. I don't even know. I don't think anyone has it tagged or as owned. Let me see here. Yeah, no one has it as marked as owned, so I don't even know.
That's like extra weird too because it's official. Like it almost like it didn't really get a lot of praise as much merch.
It was
does.
a lottery prize. Okay, that's why. It was for the DLC of the Vita version of Persona 4 Dancing All Night. So yeah, it's really obscure. It would have been in Japan.
That's a P4D. That's really cool, actually. Oh, I just noticed from her outfit that is her P4D outfit.
Actually, Gab, wasn't there a prize figure also for the Soejima Miku, or am I crazy?
It's fine. Probably. It doesn't matter. The plush doll is all I need in my life.
Okay.
Spencer, you want to start us off with predictions, sir?
Sure. So, I've had a lot of different predictions going through my head. As you all know, September is not only Persona's anniversary. Ironically, it's also the Persona 5 anniversary, which definitely I think is going to lean into it probably more than people are thinking. So out of all the 7 projects we know, I think people need to kind of be aware that they're also probably going to Year of Luigi this by having a lot more P5 love. Not because P5 popular, but because it's also its anniversary. So I think you're going to see a lot of P5 stuff off the bat. I'm not going to say Golden because Golden's the obvious one that is going to be happening first, but I want to do a weird one of like a weird prediction I haven't talked about, but I thought might be kind of funny. There have been a lot of weird crossovers. We're seeing more and more, especially with Morgana coming to Monkey Ball and other things like that. I think, and I might be very, very wrong with this, I think that they will announce, and this might not even be one of their projects, but something that just happens. I think that there will be some talk of Persona 6, but it will be a collaboration between Persona Studios and RGG Studios, because the fact that those two are so tightly owned by the same company and never share any tech is hilarious. Because if you have ever played even Yakuza on the PS3, that is immediately already a better condensed down Japan than all of the Persona games combined. So, like, I think if they kind of did, like, a Breath of the Wild thing where Nintendo worked with Monolith and Monolith used their open world experience, I think they're going to announce P6, not have a lot to show, but be like, hey, this will be a game on the level of a Yakuza in terms of its world detail. Because they're not known for making crazy large worlds. Kamurocho is not a large world or whatever, but they feel very real, and they feel very, like, lived in a way that Persona has always consistently tried to do, but on such a low budget, I feel like they've always failed, and I think would be a really good announcement.
Oh, yeah. Kamurocho has always been so lively, more lively than any Japan that we've seen in Persona. I mean, you get to go into the buildings and experience different things in those buildings. There's just so much happening. The lighting's amazing. Kamurocho's always looked beautiful. So you're saying at, like, RGG Studios, they would help them make, like, not necessarily like it would be like the combat from like a dragon.
No, yeah, they would have no design in terms of the combat, but let's say they do mini games and they do no, not even mini games, but just like helping develop the world, even maybe bringing in assets that they could, because like let's be real, there are assets in Yakuza 7 and Lost Judgment that are from the PS3 era. Like they do a lot of copy and paste in a lot of those games, but that's just like hey, whatever.
Well, everybody's body's the same in the Yakuza games. They just change their faces.
Mm-hmm. So like stuff like that in terms of copy and paste, because like even in other ways, like I was playing Darts and Judgment. Darts and Judgment sucks complete ass compared to Darts and Royal. Darts and Royal is really fun and controls really well, but like even like the Judgment version of it, it's just, I feel like you're drunk playing it all the time.
So your big prediction was RGG Studios working on Persona 6.
Yeah, so it'll be a crossover in development. It won't be an exciting announcement on paper, but it will be exciting the more you, like, assuming they talk about it.
I never really thought about that. That would be really cool, actually. So, thanks for that, Spencer. I appreciate that. Gap, your big prediction for this Persona anniversary?
Oh God. Well, I would hope to see like the older games, or at least some of them, being ported to like everything, whether it's Switch, PC, PS4,
and not just Steam, right?
Yeah, I'm talking like every platform except for mobile, of course.
Persona 5 on the mobile phone.
World. No, not Persona 5 on mobile. We saw what happened with Final Fantasy, whatever number, I can't remember. 15 on mobile. That was bad.
Pocket
Oh yeah,
edition, pocket
the
edition.
pocket, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. So no, we're not doing that. We're not going that route. We've already tried it. It didn't work. Don't do it. But the other prediction I would give is, I don't know. I feel like they could announce that they're going to start working on Persona 6 and give us like a title card thing, but I feel like that's just what Atlas does, so I kind of just expect them to do that and be like, haha, see you in a few years, guys. And then come back in a few years when they actually have something to
And
show.
then delay it.
And then delay it 5 times, and then be like, here you go, guys, it's dropping.
I don't think it's any secret that they're going to announce Persona 6 during this. Are we all in agreement here?
What color do we think it's going to be? That's the big question.
Purple.
What
Purple.
color?
I'm not actually sold they're gonna announce Persona 6, just because I think if they do, it's gonna be their worst announcement that they bring, unless they're trying really hard. Just because it's still so far away. It's actually kind of funny, like, as I was doing, like, more kind of research into it, it's funny, like, how certain games can get pumped out really fast at Sega and Atlas, and then other ones can't. Like, Sega has somehow, to a fault in some ways probably, found a system of getting almost yearly titles for certain franchises, but then looking at something like Persona, or honestly every franchise at Atlas, like, there's nothing they've ever really been able to make iterative in a quickly manner. Like, even if you laugh about the spin-offs, it's like, those all still had to get planned and released, like, years and years apart. Like, the shortest development timeline we have in any of Atlas's titles are the dancing games, and those still took over 2 years to come out.
I just want to say to all the greens in the chat, that's Shin Megami Tensei 5. You're excused.
Do you think...
White is the only option.
Do you think SMT5, like, you associate that with green? I haven't thought about that before.
Kind of. I kind of do, a little bit. But, okay, so they use color in a different way. So they use color with the different, God, what are they called? The different routes. So yellow is, like, the god route. And, they associate colors with different characters. I don't know why they did that, though. Yeah.
So someone had a cursed answer. Watch Persona 6 be brown, says Robert Merriman.
Oh.
No, someone said watch it unironically be white, and I think that's hilarious, and I agree.
Yeah, white. Actually, if it is white, I'd say that's a baller move. Like, that's like,
It
listen,
would be very
we showed it to you.
classic.
There was no like there was no lie or whatever here.
Anyways, my I don't know if I have a big prediction for Persona 25. I think my biggest thing is please get P4G on my Switch and PS4 and PS5. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. Persona 6 is a shoe-in.
Good question about ports I want to ask you guys, because I've been thinking about this recently. And this goes for chat as well. I really want to get everyone's opinions on this. Do you think there would be a backlash if there were no next-gen ports of Golden? So, Golden is coming to current consoles. We know at least Switch and PlayStation. It's already on PC. Let's say it comes to Switch, Xbox, and PS4. Is that a negative if it's not on PS5? And they just assume, oh, whatever, they'll just play the PS4 version.
I don't think that's a negative at all, honestly. I mean, what can you improve?
I could think of seeing... Well, I'm surprised you're saying that as someone who owns a PS5. Gab, as someone who doesn't own a PS5, do you think not having a PS5 version of that port is a negative to you, or do you not care?
Okay.
So this is my situation with this one of... I would say have a separate port for this reason. A, you'll have double dippers. It will not be cross-buy. So if you make 2 separate retail versions, there will be the dum-dums in the world like me who might buy both versions of a box, the white box and the blue box. Also, you could try and go fucking crazy with it, because this is a really, really low-effort game technically. You could make it run in 8K. You could make it run at 120 frames. Like, that game works when the frame rate is uncapped very, very well, no problem. Just like little dumb technical things like that of like, hey man, why not? Like, go hog wild with this. This is not a technically demanding game, and it's gonna be like a pretty low effort port in terms of frills. Like, there's not when this comes to consoles, there's probably not going to be anything really new with it outside of portable play and achievements. And even that, the achievements were there, and the portable play were in the Vita version.
I mean, I just don't see a PS5, a next-gen version as a necessity. The game's fine as it is.
Oh,
I don't think
instant
really...
load times too. Instant load times would be amazing.
But SSD, we already have SSDs. It doesn't really matter.
There's a difference between PS4 games on an SSD and a PS5 game on an SSD. Like going back to Judgment, I've played Judgment on PS4. The load times on Judgment on PS4 compared to PS5 are amazing. Like if you've played even something like that has good loading on PS4, Ghost of Tsushima, amazing loads on PS4. Even base PS4 loads really, really well. They somehow made it even better on the director's cut on PS5. The PS5 just its hard drive speed is just on another level. Like it can't compare. And it adds up, especially in an RPG where you're putting a lot of time into going into load screens.
I mean, just for me, I don't care if they put out a next-gen version. I think it's perfect the way it is. And I don't think everyone cares enough about 8K right now for them to say, hey, we're putting this game out in 8K on the PS5 and Xbox.
All I'm saying is our fucking PS5 box has an 8K logo. Let's get a game that finally fucking uses it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for real, but who has an 8K TV? Do you have an 8K TV, Spencer?
I'll just squint. I'll pretend it's 8K.
Ports question, by the way, guys, since we're already talking about ports. Persona 5 Switch, is it happening? Because I know King Gooba's out there is waiting with anticipation for this.
Well, when you say that, do you mean Royal Switch or any Persona Switch?
Persona 5 Royal Switch.
Gabbo, we need to go first, and then I'll give the depressing, realistic answer.
Probably not. I don't think it's coming.
What makes you say that?
Surprised. I don't know. I feel like they haven't. Well, I guess they did Shin Megami Tensei on the 3DS, and they're doing it on the Switch. But I feel like they have a deal going with Atlas for exclusivity for Persona 5.
Right. Which is the $1 million question, is their exclusivity deal? I'm kind of, here, I think I change my answer every day on that. Maybe Spencer knows more about that.
Yeah, so the exclusivity deal has expired. The Royal deal expired, I think it was like a 12 to 16 month contract, but that kind of gets a little blurred with the JP to English release. So, Royal's exclusivity to PlayStation has ended for the PS4 version. Everything I have heard behind the scenes is there is no plans at all for a Switch version of Royal at Atlas. And the reason behind that could be two things. One, there's no one to really make it happen. And two, which I know is going to make everyone who's not me very mad, they are genuinely considering making another version of Royal and putting it on PS5 as another 12-month exclusive, similarly with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
What?
With no cross-buy, no cross-save, new additional story stuff, but have no discount. It'll just be another $60, maybe $70 version.
All right, I'm telling you this right now, Atlas. If you are listening right here, don't do that fucking shit. I'm telling you right now, because I'd waste my money on it again. I don't want anyone else to have to spend money on that. I would buy it, but very begrudgingly. I will tell you that.
That's why when I started hearing rumblings of that, that's why I started posting about it and being like, "Hey guys, I don't think a lot of you people are aware of this. A lot of companies, especially ones with PlayStation ties, PlayStation is basically going up to every developer they have an exclusive with and saying, "Hey, your game was remotely popular on the PS4. What do you want to make it a PS5 exclusive?" And not make the next one, just get the old one and put it on there with as many bells and whistles as possible.
But what doesn't make sense to me is that what's stopping them from putting Royal on Switch though?
It goes back. It goes back to their thing of this. Why would you put Royal on Switch if you're going to put a better version of Royal on PS5 as an exclusive?
For the money, baby.
Again, going back to the money, it might be a contract thing. It might be
who has a PS5. Who has a PS5?
10 million plus people. A bunch
8 million of them are scalpers, bro.
Not true. I don't believe the whole scalper thing for it. But the interesting thing about it is going back to OG Royal. People were like, guys, what the heck? Can we get original Persona 5 on it? when Royal was coming to PS4. It's like, why would you ask them that? Like, even if that was a thing, like, that's just asking them to be shitty business practice, like, even more than it is, of, like, and I got a good comment I do want to talk about PC of this, because I think Switch and PC are very separate when it comes to the Persona thing. They just don't want to dip those waters into consoles just because they know it's a kind of such a blurred mess. I will say this. There have been talks, and there are still currently discussion. I don't know how far they are. Mixa PC Pro said, what happened to the PC version? Royal on PC is a thing that is being looked into. I don't know how far that port development has gone. It's pretty close just because it's not that hard of a port. But the problem was they had started work on a Persona 5 port literally a couple of years ago for PC, and then we're like, well, shit, why are we doing this when Royal exists? Because they're just separate games. Like, no one wants to buy a Persona. Okay, I shouldn't say no one. The idea
People
did that with
definitely
Catherine.
the idea, yeah, exactly. They just didn't want to have a Catherine Classic thing. Like, selling P5 Classic on PC would sell, but it would still be like a what the fuck are you doing thing. Like, the fact that Catherine Full Body is not on PC is genuinely hilarious, like, when you think about it. Which is actually funny, because I was talking to a port house recently. I found out one of the port houses Atlas works with asked to do a PC port. And they said, we do not view it as necessary right now to put Full Body on PC. Like, so they're straight up just denying some ports because they just don't think it's financially worth it. I mean, hey, honestly, putting something like Full Body on PC is not going to, like, shake the world. But I think PC is much more optimistic. Switch is complicated for it just because of the console exclusivity. There's nothing in the exclusivity that is stopping PC. Like, even hypothetically, if this PS5 Director's Cut thing happens, there is a very high chance that it is announced for PS5 at launch, and then 6 months later comes to PC, much like how this fall we're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Epic Games Store. Like, so there's stuff like that I think is a lot more hopeful for PC. I will say this. I think one of the 7 projects we're going to get is a really higher than likely chance that one of them is at least a Switch exclusive. And not like in an exciting way, but probably something like a Q collection that's only on Switch just because, hey, let's throw them a bone.
Love a Q collection. Now, Spencer, would the director's cut of Persona 5 Royal be 60 FPS on PS5?
No, yeah, that's the thing. And they set the bar so low for all us fucking dum-dums when we bought that game last year. Like, it's 1080p, not real 4K, it's checkerboard 4K, it's not real 4K.
Right.
It's 1080p, 30 FPS. So they would immediately have the best back-of-the-box quote of no load screens, 4K, 60 FPS.
Right. I mean, it makes sense to do, but I don't think that warrants a $70 price tag.
Warrants it, no, but I mean, look at situations like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's technically a $70 game, even though most people probably didn't do what I did and just did the digital upgrade for $30. I think every company's different. Like, look at Death Stranding. That's a $10 upgrade. That's like a really good deal for all the stuff you're getting. And even if you want the physical copy, that's only $50. So I think they're aware that they can be flexible on price, but I think Atlas is also aware that their fans are ravenous enough and not questioning enough to just say, eh. Because, like, I've fucking joked about it before. I say joke about it, but I have no insight, but I could see one of these 7 announcements is literally just Persona 5 Strikers comes to PS5. No extra whistles, literally just it's a PS5 port, and it comes out, there you go, Shadow Drop. Like, I would be so ready for that. Like, just because that's such a low effort thing for them to do, be like, fuck it, why not? And I'd buy it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd love that too, but I don't know. I think it's a weird thing. I really hope Atlas doesn't. If it happens, Atlas doesn't sell that as a $70 game.
You heard it here first, folks. If bad news happens, I called it. If it doesn't, you're welcome.
It's all Spencer's fault. It's all Spencer's fault. So, as we know, the first P25 announcement's happening sometime in September. So, actually, one of our questions comes from David Cass JRPGs. I'm just going ahead and put his question here since it kind of fits with our conversation. When do you think P25's first announcement in September is going to be? Is it going to be first part of September, end, middle? When do you think?
Well, at least we now know it's definitely not going to be TGS, since TGS is pushed all the way out to October. So that's good.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess they'll start the 7th.
What makes you say the 7th?
I don't know. I just got a
The
feeling.
7th. The 7th.
I have a pretty good. I don't know. I'm good at guessing things like that. You know what I mean? Like those candy games where you guess how many pieces are inside and stuff.
Is it
How
because
many,
there's
jelly,
certain project-
how many jelly beans are in this container, Gab?
I don't know.
All right, I have two weird answers. One is a boring one, and I don't want it to be the answer. The other one I want to be really optimistic for. The boring answer is it's going to be September 15th of next month. It's a Wednesday. I mean, obviously the day doesn't really matter. Tuesday in America, Wednesday in Japan. It's the 5th anniversary of P5. It's literally right in the middle of the month. So make them wait half of the month. So they're... Because, like, honestly, remember, the longer they make us wait, the more we'll just keep talking about it every day. Like, even though we said, hey, guys, don't overhype this... Every day on Twitter, there will be someone who just makes a post that's just like going, it's happening! I feel it in my gut! It's happening today, guys! Today's the fucking day! And then the dumb answer, just because I want to be extra funny, is I think they should announce it next week. And by that, I mean September 21st, my birthday, because that would be a day after the 25th anniversary, because the 25th anniversary is on the 20th, and they just got, you know what, guys? This one random guy in Kansas, let's wait for his birthday and announce it then, and then just drop a copy, and then that's when
I think them following you pretty much confirms this.
Yeah, it's confirmed now. We DM about it all the time.
So, there's a reason why I don't think it'll happen at the end of the month. I don't know if this is a big reason why, but I don't think it would necessarily interfere with Lost Judgment, but I don't think they would want to release two, talk about games in that quick of span. So I would say within the first 2 weeks of September. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but do you think that's a fair assessment about them not wanting to interfere with Lost Judgment, or do you think that has nothing to do with it whatsoever?
Not nothing, but I mean, you have 2 weeks in between Sonic Colors and Death Stranding. Well, it does come out the same day as Death Stranding, but yeah, Lost Judgment and Sonic Colors, you have 2 weeks of nothing from Sega.
Right. So, guys, what do you think the first announcement is going to be?
Say
Port.
it, Gab. Say it,
I
Gab.
don't know.
You know in your heart what it is. Just let him say it.
I'm just guessing at this point.
What was the port?
Well, hold on. Let me change the question for Gab, just in case if there's any chance of more of an exciting discussion out of it. Gab, what are the chances that the first port is... Sorry, the first port. What is the chance that the first announcement is not golden?
Not what?
Not golden.
Why?
Because if you remember, if you go to the website, the first announcement they have lined up for September is a yellow TV.
With static and everything on it.
Well, I don't know. They could pull anything at this point, really.
I know, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, even though it's yellow, doesn't mean it has to be golden. Like, yes, golden's coming, but it could be something else.
What if it's Arena? That's what I've been thinking.
What is it, man? Okay, as I mentioned, I love Arena. What is up with all the people who are like, guys, an Arena remaster's coming? Like, where's any actual proof of this fucking mystery port that Arc System Works is definitely not doing?
Would it be remastered by Arc System Works themselves, or would it just be a port?
No way in hell. Arc System Works they're busy fucking making the world's best apparent fucking nude poses with Jacko and everything. So they're busy doing their own thing. I think they still have Dragon Ball Fighters left, right? Aren't they still doing Fighters DLC?
Yes, they just revamped it.
They still are working on Fighters. They still are working on Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and they literally just put out Strive. And Strive is a really ambitious DLC plan with like new story modes and everything. So like their teams are super booked up.
So what would it be if it's not golden, Spencer?
It's tough. It's tough because like I want it to be something else, but then also I want them to like at this point the console ports of Persona 4 and 3 are becoming strikers, where it's been so long, it won't even like it'll obviously be exciting, but it's just going to be like, Jesus, fucking announce it already, you know? Like,
I mean, I've heard people say that, like, sorry to cut you off, Spencer, but I've heard people say that, our friend Kuro as well, saying that it would be a very boring way for them to start it if they just announced P4G for Switch and PS4 and call it a day.
well, yeah, it'll be boring, but I mean, at the same time, like, they're also, they've got a lot, like, this is a 12-month-long, like, announcement. They're not blowing their load with all 7 in September, so, like, they kind of have nothing to gain by starting off with a banger. Like, they're not going to have anything crazy, most likely, ready this year. I'd say if we're lucky, we get 2 games out this year, and in this situation, I'm counting Persona 3 and 4 as one game, just because they're going to be sold as a combo pack. Like I said, at most, expect something like a PS5 port or other system ports, but nothing new is going to drop this year. Like, there's not going to be any announcement in the next 4 months left of the year where we get anything kind of, like, crazy. But at the same time, like, they have all of 2022, all the way up until autumn, to announce other stuff. So, like, that's why I'm not expecting Persona 6 news, even if it does come from the 25th anniversary, to happen in September. Like, they're not going to, like, unless I'm super wrong, and I would love for this to be the case, unless they blow their load and have a Nintendo Direct-style 25th anniversary showcase, which I would love, I don't think they're doing that. But, like, there's no incentive for them to announce all these things when, like, you're already talking about Lost Judgment. You don't want it to be too close to that. Dude, Sega and Atlas, they don't even need to announce anything else for the rest of the year. They have a stacked lineup. They have Sonic, Demon Slayer, Lost Judgment, Monkey Ball, SMT5, and probably other stuff I'm forgetting. Like, they have a huge... Like, they have one of the biggest, like, publishing lineups in the entire fall, in my opinion.
I don't see Persona 6 getting announced until the very last announcement. That's just me, though.
That almost seems too long. Like, I don't think they're gonna make people wait until that would almost be, like, bad. I think unless they actually pace it out well, because like Gab, I don't know. Like, do you think, like, if they made people wait until fall of next year for the final announcement just to be P6 and not show anything, I feel like that would have, like, blowback.
Like, it's definitely something they would do. I just kind of expect them to do stuff like that.
Okay.
So, let me ask y'all this. You've seen all the merchandise on the website, the 25th anniversary, acrylic stands and everything. Y'all have all seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, they have 2 acrylic stands that they have not revealed yet. They said one of them is something that we haven't seen before, and one of them is something that we have seen before. So we all know that the one that we haven't seen before is probably Persona 6. So what the hell is the other one? Is it a remaster? A remake?
Can I call out a mutual friend of both of our shows?
Sure.
I know Kuro has done videos like, because Kuro and David do a lot more. They try and pump out more videos more frequently and stuff. No, I think it was David who, like, didn't he, like, just this week or last week be like, Persona 3 remake was confirmed or something?
Yes.
I want to just let everyone in the world know, please don't ever, like, do, like, I take a lot of stretches. I take a lot of information and I peel it as far back as I can. Like, man, that was a video. When I saw the thumbnail for that, I was like, I'm gonna listen to this whole thing, and I better have a goddamn good reason why a P3 remake was confirmed in these 2 tweets, which definitely was not the case. And I get it. It's just it's one of those things of, hey, maybe you got a good idea. Maybe you were up all night fucking chugging monsters and coffee or whatever. Like, I get it. You want to put something out, you can do your thing. It was just one of those funny things of, like, I want people to look at those mystery acrylic merch things. Don't get that excited about it. Like, just think about it like as much fun as it would be to be like, oh my god, it's going to be the female protagonist of Persona 6 and a 8K nipple from Persona 3 female protagonist or whatever. Like, even if your wildest dreams were like true for that merch or whatever, Atlas, I promise you, Atlas Japan is not galaxy braining that hard. They're not like, we're selling a lot of Persona 3 merch, and we've got a new mystery person we're announcing for a mystery project, but you might know about our mystery project. I mean, like, if they were that smart, which I promise you they're not, like, they would not be that on the nose about it. It would be like, It would be like if we found out tomorrow Abandoned was Kojima all along, and there was no like lead up. It was like, yeah, it was Kojima. You'd be like, what? After all of that, you're just gonna end it like that? Like that's all it takes?
To be fair, I think David had a good reason for putting out that video, because that's the first thing I thought of too. Or a remaster. I wouldn't say remake, but remaster. For sure.
Maybe I am just like, I'm just too jaded, because literally I feel like I hear it like at least once a week, and sometimes I'll hear it in real life, like where I'm talking to people and they're like, dude, P3 remake, it's happening. Like it's got it, because everyone always has the same argument to me, and it just boggles my mind. Like, I thought people were hungry for I thought people were hungry for a Final Fantasy VII remake. But man, the way P3 remake fans talk about this is like, you would think like this is some like almost like industry like cult secret. Like everyone knows, but no one's gonna talk about it. Like, notice no one on the inside ever talks about a P3 remake happening. It is always fans. Like, no one is ever being like, oh, there's rumblings.
Oh yeah, you see it trending. See it trending almost every week.
Well, but like it's just one of those things of like, got a couple of murmurs going. Like, if we have shit coming out for like Xenoblade 3, and that even seems a little far fetched, but it has grounding, has base for understanding. Like, I would get it. And man, I hope that the first announcement is Persona 3 getting a full Unreal Engine 5 remake. Just throw that egg in my face. I'm ready for it. I just know it's never going to happen. Or at least not anytime soon. But it's just one of those crazy things of like, I just need all I need all of the Persona 3 remake fans to just email me, message me, DM me all of your reasons why, so I can collect them and show everyone publicly that you all have the same reasons why this game that is not happening is happening. Because I just find it infinitely interesting and infuriating at the same time. And I'm not even mad because I don't want it. I'm only mad because I'm like, you all are just disappointing yourselves. Like, it's like, I don't care because I'm fine with the base game, but like all these fans, it's like they're like the Switch Pro people. It's like, it's happening, guys. The P3 remake is happening this year. It's like, it's not happening this year. Stop setting yourself up for disappointment, please.
I don't think a remake's happening. I think we might get a remaster along the lines of Nocturne.
No. You'll get a remaster like Golden, and you'll be happy that it's Persona 3 Portable, the superior version.
Oh, no. That has Ken in it.
They all have Ken in it. What's the Kenless version?
The social link. That social link is cursed.
Paul TX, if I was able to rename this episode already, I would just call this Persona 3 OLED confirmed ? It's Persona 3 Pro. Let's get Persona 3 Pro print trending, please. Persona 3 Pro confirmed, coming out tomorrow, first day of September. Unreal Engine 5 8K remake. Epic is making it themselves. They're doing a Fortnite event. The whole next Fortnite season's all Persona, just for the anniversary.
I mean, I definitely could see a remaster happening. What about you, Gab? Port, remaster, remake for P3? What do you think?
Well, I'd like to see a remaster done at some point. I know it's probably not probable. I'd be happy if we even got a port, to be honest.
I think at the very least, we're definitely going to get a port at FES. I think people would be very disappointed if it would be P3P, because people would feel like it would be you're getting the infant, even though the female protagonist is cool and everything. I think a lot of people feel like P3P is the inferior version of the game because it's visual novel style.
Gab, can you be the tiebreaker? What is superior, Fez or Portable?
No, I like Fez more, but that's just me.
Damn. I lost. See, I don't know why. I've never understood the Fez over Portable argument. It's just everything in Portable was just such a superior experience to me. I can't ever imagine going back. And even when I have gone and played it back, I'm like, wish I was playing Portable.
Want to give a big shout out to H2DK Another $5 donation. Thank you so much. He says, I think P3 Remaster is coming out for Switch Pro because David Cass JRPG said so.
Yeah, please, everybody, go line those tweets up. Draft those tweets. Put them out first day of September. Tag at DavidCastRPGs. Says at DavidCast confirmed Switch Pro comes bundled with a special limited edition Persona 3 remake system.
Wait, for the record, guys, if you do watch David's video on his P3 remake, he didn't really say it's confirmed or anything. He doesn't even really want the P3 remake to happen. It's just an idea. Defending my boy.
But Gex, though. Gex deserves the remake. Let's be real. Thank you,
oh
Gab.
my gosh.
Thank you, Gab.
Oh my gosh. Gex? What is the deal with Gex? I see a lot of people tweeting about it.
Do you not know the funny rumor? Like, for the longest time, Gex had more sales than Persona did.
What?
Yeah, Gex was a game that had hasn't had a game in over 20 years. Almost, actually, probably more. Had sold over 15 million copies, and they haven't released a game in almost 20 years. And Persona just this year surpassed it in sales. Took them 25 years to outsell Gex.
I had no idea about that. Honestly. One thing I did want to ask you guys, right quick, while we're on the topic of ports and everything. Or not really ports, but predictions and stuff. We know that SMT5 is coming out in November. So will Atlus take a break between October and November from these Persona 25 announcements? What do you think? Will we not see anything for a little while after September?
No, I would normally want to say yes, but I'm thinking because TGS... I don't think TGS will be big. I think people need to realize every time Sega says they're at a convention, just ignore them. Don't go there for them.
Right.
I promise you, no one who is excited for Sega news actually says that and then means, oh, but I wanted to see Human Nature. Human Nature's a great game, but fans who listen to this podcast probably aren't into both. There's a difference between I love Sega games and I love Sega PC games.
So you don't think that there's going to be anything announced between September and November?
I think there will be an announcement of some kind, but October to me seems like a good base for an anime or one of the 7 projects, because we all know they're not all going to be games, So I think
Codename X game, that mobile game.
Again, another weird thing I've heard, it's not confirmed, and I think this is very smart if this is true. I've been told that is not counting as one of the 7 projects because Atlus Japan is not working on it. Right. So that makes me optimistic. Gab, if you saw in October, the second announcement for the anniversary is a Chinese mobile game. Where's the hype at?
There is none.
Exactly.
I have zero hype for the game to begin with.
It's no Dokev. It's no Dokev, I'll say that.
I don't give a shit about mobile games, so if they did an announcement, that would be a little small announcement that they could do in the middle of 2 big announcements or something. That's the only thing that got me.
Gab, do you play any mobile games? I feel like you would play a lot of mobile games.
No. The only ones I really, or actually the only one I really play is DX2, and it's just to log in daily most of the time.
I always want to clarify, just because the way you said it though, King, of I don't play a lot of mobile games, but I will never disregard a game because it's on mobile, if that makes sense. Something like a Genshin Impact, I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I think that is such an amazing accomplishment of a game that is, for the most part, primarily played on people on mobile and stuff like that. Other titles, though, I think that have had a lot of legitimate success, even though they might not have lived the longest. Something like Kingdom Hearts' Unchained Key game I really, really liked, even though that's dead now. There are examples of good mobile games, even if they have stuff like gacha in them, that can be fun. I just think, for example, the fact that I don't love DX2, or even, not even love, the fact that I don't even touch DX2 should be mind-boggling. I am the audience for DX2, and I played the beta, I played every version of that game, and every announcement I ever see is just met with a meh. It's just because, I just can't be bothered. I know
Sonic in it, I don't care.
even even someone like you, Gab, and I always mean to ask this to LaRue as well, just because he plays the most of anybody I know. Legitimately, when you're playing that game, is there anything in the back of your head that's telling you that this game is not going to be canned in 2 years? Because, like, if they just canned a DX2 in 2023, would anyone really be surprised?
Sad. No more taking pictures with demons.
No, they'll leave that up. They'll make it its own. Like, they'll make the app just the AR camera.
That's
app.
all I care about. Just let me take pictures with the demon.
I don't know why I've never asked this. For the demons that are part of like the special events, like, are you able to do like the pictures with the collab demons like Bayonetta and stuff?
No, to be honest, I don't have one, so.
That would mean that it'd be funny if you could. Then you could take a picture of Sonic or Guts from Berserk. But yeah, like even like examples of games that should work on paper and series that I love, like since I have half the Kamurocho bros here, like, did you ever touch the Yakuza mobile game? Like, the Yakuza mobile game is fine, but like no one really cares about it.
Oh no, I never touched it. I never even touched DX2, honestly.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing of, like, I always want mobile games to be good, because I'm definitely one of those people, I don't view mobile games as, like, lesser, but mobile games definitely do have an uphill battle of when a game is announced only on mobile, it is impossible to get rid of that stigma of it just being some trash that's going to be delisted in 2 to 3 years.
I don't care about mobile gaming that much, because the most I've used I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links when it first came out for a good year, before they microtransactioned it to hell. Then I just couldn't play anymore. But the only other time I pretty much used my phone for gaming is, before I had my PC, I put my phone on top of on a grip on a controller, and I just used my PS4 remote play on it, and that's about it.
Well, now you're just you're a hardcore Stadia user, so now you're
oh my gosh,
Stadia all the time.
I think everyone's forgotten about Stadia at this point.
I don't know, man. I'm playing the PC version of Lost Judgment only on Stadia. Gonna get that thing running in 19K.
Man, that still irks me that they won't put it on Steam. And I'm not even a big Steam guy, but you can chuck that up to contracts and all that stuff.
If you guys want a banger video idea that I can't be bothered to make myself, but is actually a really interesting argument, look into the mystery of the Xbox One port of Judgment. And that's a really interesting idea for a video that I'm too lazy to make. But there's an interesting story behind it.
Really?
Yes. So there is not a Xbox One version of Judgment, but there is a story behind it. It's a very cool one.
So, before we get into our last thoughts and everything, want to get y'all's opinions. Well, not really opinions, but thoughts here. Dream Persona 25 anniversary project. Go ahead, go.
I don't know. I'm not a huge Dream fan. I think he's probably too busy playing Minecraft to really want to celebrate the anniversary. I don't know.
Legit thought you were talking about the Minecraft. I
have never even
You know what?
Dream.
We could mail him a P5 mask and see if he wears it on stream or something.
No, because then we'll get the Minecraft kids intercepting our fan base, and it'll
Let's
be
not
even
do that.
worse.
This fan base can be cringe at times already, so let's not get the Dream and Minecraft.
I'm saying I love Minecraft. Minecraft is fun.
I love Minecraft too, but I just don't like the community and the culture it's created.
Everyone in my chat, if you like Minecraft, drop a Gex emote, please. Just drop a Gex if you like Minecraft. Gex for Minecraft, please.
Yep. Dream Persona 25 project?
Nope.
Don't have one.
I don't know. Dream Persona 25 project.
Persona 4 dancing for Switch.
No.
Oh, that's
if they made another dancing game that included SMT people, now that would be cool.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till next year. That's then the SMT anniversary is. Then you'll get that dancing one. I will say this. This is happening, but it's not an exciting announcement, so I don't ever try and tell people a lot about it. Dancing is 100% going to get ported to everything eventually. That's just one that they're man, just wait and just port it to because there's no reason to dole that out. So dancing will become a trilogy, and we'll just say, what is it? It'll just be Persona 3, 4, 5 dancing. They'll sell it for $60, put it on Xbox, PC, PS5. Because the funny story behind that is there's a large movement of people at Atlas who wanted the P4 port of Dancing to be on more consoles, but because it was sold as a limited edition only inclusion with a collector's edition, a huge amount of people missed out on that Vita port, which is really, really funny. So I know that's something that is going to happen eventually. I just don't know when, but that's like the definition of like such an easy port. Because especially imagine if they just make it the all-in-one edition of all the songs and all the DLC are just unlocked from the get-go. Sell that for $60. Say what you will about whatever of the songs and the music, that is like one of the best. That would just immediately be one of the best rhythm game releases of all time.
So you don't really have a dream Persona 25 project, Spencer?
That's weird. Hold on, I'm about to choke on water. I'll say my answer.
You can choke after the podcast. I got a show to do.
Alright, there we go. Sorry. I was deep-throating Gex over here. Dream is weird, just because I set my bar really low all the time. I would say a dream release is give me...
Persona 3 remake?
No. David confirmed that. It's coming out tomorrow, guys. Come on. Don't tease me. My dream release would probably actually just be a... It's tough because we've gotten so many things. Okay, hold on. This is like... So the base thing is, it's not like this is my dream Persona remake. This is my dream Persona anniversary announcement, right?
Right.
Okay,
right.
Then yeah, fuck it. I'll do my real answer. Persona 5 Strikers 2 gets announced. Everyone's either mad or extremely happy. Because, like, there's no reason that game shouldn't get a sequel. It's one of the best-selling games in the entire franchise, and that game deserves a sequel. So just give me that. Make it a big crossover between all 5 of the Persona games, and let Koei Tecmo just fucking make one of the best games ever.
I think we're all in agreement here that Strikers is going to get a sequel, right?
If it doesn't, that'd be amazing.
I don't see how it doesn't. With how well... So, what, 1.5 million units? Already?
And that was already many months ago, so it's probably almost to 2.
Yeah, for real. So, I wouldn't say I have a dream project, but I just want Persona 4 Golden on consoles. We've been waiting too long, and every day it doesn't happen, I die a little bit on the inside. I don't know why it hasn't happened by now. I don't know if they were specifically waiting for this anniversary or what.
They were. It was just the anniversary wait, that's why. It's been done forever.
It's just so weird to me. Like, they could have made so many sales by now. But, I don't know. That's just me. Though.
I have a question for you guys, just because I only got, like, one Patreon thing, but I would be curious, because I had a question from Mirthmaster, which I thought was kind of interesting. Less so about, like, predictions, but more so about, like, kind of changes and stuff like that. So, what is one major change that you all want to see with the future of modern-based, like, Persona games? Like, Gab, is there, like, one thing that you're like, the series needs to either change in this way? Like, what do you want to see with that?
Bring back colored hair protagonists and stuff. I'm tired of seeing regular-ass people.
I don't...
Get Yukimoto's hair onto a protagonist.
I don't want a fucking bunch of fellow white boys with brown and black hair to look at the main protagonist of Persona 6 and go, "Bro, it's me! I'm him!"
Thank you. That is my case.
That's funny. That's a funny and actually really great choice. Kate, what about you? What's, like, one major change you want to see?
It's time for the series to grow up, get out of the high school setting that's been in for a while. That's just me, though.
They have a team who definitely I would trust to do a adult one, but it's weird. They're almost in can't not bring it back to Yakuza. They're in a tricky situation where I wonder if they view SMT is the test bed for not kid-based RPGs, even though SMT5 takes place in a high school, but, like, I think people in the West don't talk about this a lot, but this is very much a case with Persona in Japan. A large factor of Persona's relatability in the East is because you are playing as Japanese high schoolers. And the Japanese market really think that they nail that idea in Persona, even though they've done it so many times now, that it would just be very hard for them to do that without getting out of their comfort zone. Now, that being said, I want that. I want that. So, like, and it's funny because they don't even have to, like, get that far out of their circle. Like, I think even if they just did college, that would be a big step forward.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a college Persona game would be great.
Or just go backwards, do Boss Baby. We'll have Boss Baby Personas.
Oh, my. They don't have to be 40 years old or anything. Just more adult situations, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Something that we can relate to, instead of, you know, high school students. That's just me. What about you, Spencer? Answer that question.
This one's a weird one. I think more so than anything, the one I've always really wanted them to kind of step out with in terms of change. I'd be curious what you all think of this as well. I want a setting change. No offense, but man, I'm really sick of every game that is a JRPG has to be in Tokyo or a Tokyo light. Like, that's one of the things I love the most about Persona 4 and Strikers is that they go out of their way to not feel like you're in Tokyo. I want a small town. I want to visit other... Like, Japan is this amazing country. And, like, obviously it'd be cool if they got out of Japan. That would make it a lot easier. But even if they wanted to just make it of, like, hey, check out other parts of Japan. Go to Odaiba. Go to, like, small towns. Go to, like, Hole in the Walls. Go to, like, the rural mountains and stuff. Like, I want stuff like that of getting out of that familiar without kind of feeling like you're losing what makes it original. That being said, I did say something in chat. I definitely don't want America. I think America, I do not trust them to make a JRPG based in America without it being really cringy. Like, I would say small scale setting, big scale story in terms of, like, everything with that. Like, I want a, as weird as this is, I hope this makes sense, I want a Resident Evil Village size world in like a Persona 6.
I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that at all. Did you have any more questions from your viewers, Spencer? Did you want to go ahead and get into
we pretty much knocked them all out of the water there. So I think by some miracle on Ice 3 or Snow Dogs 2, we are actually going to be able to end this at the 90-minute mark.
That's awesome. my viewers actually did have a few questions, just a few quick ones. We can rapid fire them. The first one doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but Snarf Soldier 17 asks what our favorite drinks are of the alcoholic kind.
Oh, I don't drink.
Yeah, I'm pretty straight-laced as well, but when I do, I drink like a 90-year-old man, so that kind of makes it a little easier. For like go-to drinks, really fruity, like as just fruity as possible, or like a bourbon or like an old-fashioned. I like stuff like that. But I mean, I'll drink anything, but like I almost never have alcohol at my house. I'm like the loosest of like social drinkers.
Gotcha. Meanwhile, I love everything from craft beer, cider. I like liquor, and I love wine. I'm actually have had almost an entire bottle tonight, and I feel great.
Oh, here's the real question. Yeah, now my chat knows me. Hintaro the chat. What about Mountain Dew? Now, Mountain Dew, we could have a whole podcast.
That Baja Blast, though.
Ken, what are your thoughts on Mountain Dew? We need a woman's perspective on Mountain Dew.
It looks like it has a lot of chemicals in it.
It definitely does. You're tasting it when you're drinking the Baja Blast. You're feeling it's like an entire Taco Bell's cleaning closet's going down your body system.
And it's beautiful. I love it. Have you tried that Baja Blast Zero, Spencer?
I've not. That's the only one I haven't. But that's just because I don't know, too stubborn. But I'll try it eventually if I get it. But it's like I can't imagine it tastes that much different than a regular Baja Blast. But
it doesn't.
For the timeline's sake, if I'm willing to drink flaming hot Mountain Dew, I have no reason not to have Baja Blast Zero.
Our next question, pretty much I think we've already answered. Katana Riku, fellow content creator, asked, what are some safe predictions for the anniversary next month? I think we all said it, Persona 4 Golden for consoles. So Joey, I'm not sure how to pronounce his... Joey Wheeler! Yeah? Joey Pycon, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thoughts on a Persona and Danganronpa crossover? Think of how those two fan bases would interact with each other.
Very well. A lot of Persona and Danganronpa lovers in my group. I see a lot of love.
Do you play Danganronpa, Gab?
Yeah, I actually own the collection.
What do you think about a possible crossover?
I think it would be okay. It'd be kind of weird though.
They're kind of similar in a lot of ways. I just don't see it happening whatsoever. What about you, Spence?
I could see a collab for like a game, but
Right.
Danganronpa as a series is definitely done. Not even like put on ice. It's like it's done, which I like about it. So that's
except for this party game that we're getting.
I think people are gonna like have a week of it of posting screenshots and art on Twitter and then never talk about it.
Right.
But I like that Danganronpa is a series that ended. I'm happy those series creators like they did. There's no fluff. There's nothing I look at in the games of Danganronpa and go, oh Jesus, this is a fucking. Oof, it's a bad release. No one hypothetically should be making the clickbaity videos of this is the game that killed Danganronpa. Like, I'm glad it's a series that like it had a good like decade, and even will still continue to have fan base even after 10 years. But it was just one of those things of I'm glad I look at that series and everything just makes me happy. Like no matter what kind of game or aspect I think about it. So I could see something happening. I would say no, because why? But then let's be real, Gab, what Danganronpa collab happened literally like a week ago? Did you see who they announced the collaboration with?
No.
Sanrio.
There was a Danganronpa collaboration?
Sanrio. Hello Kitty Sanrio Danganronpa collection is real, and I cannot believe it, but it's amazing.
Why?
Because literally Sanrio will let you pay them any amount of money and they will give you the rights to any character, which is hilarious for so many reasons. Like literally it's Monokuma next to a Monokuma looking Hello Kitty, and it's official stuff and it's amazing. I highly recommend people check it out.
I think my girlfriend would actually like that, so I'm gonna check that out right after the stream's over. Thanks for telling me about that.
No problem.
So our next question comes from Demicrow. Could a Persona 5 Strikers 2 be teased, or maybe another Strikers game with only the P4 or P3 cast? Since Makoto Yuki could come back in Persona 3 dancing, they could make him come back again in another spinoff. I think we pretty much covered that. If Strikers sequel did happen, we would hope to see the other cast of them, right? Gab, what would you hope to see in a Persona 5 Strikers sequel?
I like Strikers, to be honest, so I mean, I wouldn't really care for a sequel.
You didn't like it that much?
Nah, to be honest.
Gab, I think it's more fair because you and me did the whole spoiler cast with it. I think you like Strikers, but you definitely burnt out on it by the end of your experience playing it. Like, I think if you... I think if you didn't like that game, you wouldn't have platinumed it, you know?
Nah, well, I platinumed all of the Persona stuff, basically, in some way or another.
Alright, show me that Persona 5 PS3 Platinum, and then I will shut my mouth.
I don't have a PS3.
Great defense. I'll take it.
Alright, so the next one comes from Coogan S. With this inevitable announcement, should Persona 6 be a PS5 exclusive, or should it also accommodate a PS4 version, considering the current situation regarding the lack of obtainable PS5s?
Fuck it, make it a PS5 exclusive. It's not going to come out for another, 7 years. Why not?
Yeah, I would expect it to come out on the next gen.
Well, exclusive, though. So no PS4 version.
Yeah, I would expect that.
I'll say this. Not only will it come out on PS5, if it does come out on PS4, it'll be like P5 on PS3, where no one wants to play that version. And even if you do, it's just because you don't. Is just because you're cheap and don't want to buy the new system. That's the only. There will be so many PS5s out in the wild by the time Persona 6 comes out. You will be tripping over them.
The next one comes from our friend Kuro. He asks, what if we don't get a Persona 4 Golden in consoles like everyone is saying, and we get Persona 3 on consoles instead? Would you be salty? personally, I would be a little salty because I need my Persona 4 Golden on Switch. But I think we can all agree that it's coming to consoles, right?
I mean, I don't care, to be honest.
I'll say this, if a console port does not happen, I'm going to have a lot of people in my DMs ask me why the fuck was I saying a console port was done for a year.
True.
I think we only have one more question. What would you like to see get, and this comes from Inconsistent Sin Fan, what would you like to see get added if we get a Persona 4 Arena port with new features? I don't really care much about Persona 4 Arena, so I'll let y'all handle that one.
Yeah, I don't care about it either.
Alright, time to shine, everybody. Okay, so Persona 4 Arena coming to consoles, again, not happening, but if it does, it's a really easy game to port to new systems and immediately get the fan base back. So obviously, first one, rollback netcode. Netcode on OG, Ultimax, and Arena, dog shit. Arc system works really bad at online. They can do better. Don't change the lobby system. The lobby system was perfect. It's just give your chibi avatar, go to a little arcade. You can run around as little chibi Naoto. If anyone has ever seen chibi Naoto dancing from Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, all of that stuff originated from Ultimax's lobbies. So check that out. Stuff to add. Obviously include all the DLC. Shout out to Persona 4 Arena for having the balls, because a lot of people don't really remember this because the fan base was very different like 10 years ago. Persona 4 Arena literally sold glasses DLC for characters that you could maybe see like 8 pixels of the glasses. So the only difference in the game was it would let you wear the character's glasses for the P4 cast, and for the P3 cast, they would have stuff like visors or other things on their eyes since they didn't have to wear the Shadow Realm glasses. And what was so funny was that, like, no one ever shit on that DLC because it was all super optional, but it was just one of those things of, like, literally you're paying money for, like, 0 minutes of extra work. Like, adding those glasses were, like, no extra difference at all. But it's just one of those funny things of include all the DLC characters, include obviously all the story from Arena and Ultimax into one package. You don't really got to do much. Like, all of it was voice acted. The training it had a ton of stuff for single player. Online, it just needs support. Obviously, yes, besides pushback and rollback netcode, 100% crossplay. Have every version play with every version, and then that game can just live on in perpetuity forever. Like, that's, like, all it literally needs is just bundle the DLC, put it on other systems, and make sure everyone has good netcode and can play together. That's literally all it needs.
Well, you gave a very thorough answer. I don't think I have much to say about that. So thank you, Spencer. And thank you, Spencer and Gabby, for being a part of the stream today, this podcast. I really appreciate y'all spending some time and doing this with me, talk to some Persona. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it was good
Thanks
talking to
for
you
having
guys.
us.
Oh, of course. Guys, this has been the King's Game Podcast, Episode 8, and this has been Shin Megami Tensei Network, Link 233. Right, Spencer?
Correct.
233. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm King. She's Gabby. He's Spencer. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Now, before I say goodbye to everybody, because I am a terrible person, Gab, can you go first and tell everyone where they can find you online if they want to follow you and give you all their internet Mew crew mucks?
Oh god. You can find me at Gabbmew if you want to subscribe. We're almost at 2K. And if I have an account on something, it's usually that.
Just try every site. Newgrounds, MySpace,
Twitter,
Twitter.
Instagram, you'll find something.
I forgot you had, like, multiple accounts, by the way, on, like, Instagram, and I was like, I thought there was, like, a copycat account of you, and I got very confused for a moment, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my god, what if someone starts reporting it? I literally put in my bio that is me, though. Lol.
With how little I use Instagram, I was so ready for me to, like, I was on it, and I was like, oh god, I, like, forgot about that, just because, like, I'm just the absolute worst at ever remembering to use Instagram. I probably have used TikTok more than Instagram this year.
Mm-hmm.
King, what about you? Where can people find you in your games and your Yakuza talk that is probably not always accurate about Monkey Ball?
Oh my gosh. You can find me, King Narukami, on Twitter, also on YouTube, And Kamurocho Bros is a channel that me and David do on YouTube as well. It's all about RGG Studios. Well, not all about RGG Studios, but Yakuza and Judgment. So check that out as well.
Now, final question for you. What's a better name? Judgment? And this is for both of you, actually. In chat. Judgment or Judge Eyes?
I like Judge Eyes better.
Correct. Gab?
I like Judgment, but that's just me.
Okay. Can you... See, Judge Eyes, at least for me, I think because of, like, how much the game does a lot of close-ups of people's faces, it's like, I'm judging you. These are my judge eyes. These are my lawyer judge eyes. I'm a sexy singer man from Japan, but I'm using the English dub, so I'm not the same voice. Whereas, like, Judgment is like, I'm judging you. I'm a lawyer. We bring judgment to the table. Like, it just seems like kind of a more bland title. Judgy Jug McJudgerson. That should be Talk's new name in the game. His name is just Judgy Jug McJudgerson.
I can't wait for Lost Judgment. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I hope you're pre-ordering that digital deluxe edition to play early, like a fucking ding dong.
Fuck that shit.
Alright, well, everybody, you can follow me. I'm going to do this really fast because I always have to save myself for last because I do too much fucking shit. You can follow me on Twitter at Torchwood4SP, the podcast at SMT Network, the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/SMT Network. There's a Facebook page. There's a Discord. There is a YouTube channel you can search by just Spencer Presley or Shin Megami Tensei Network. You can also help support the show at patreon.com. That's patreon.com/SMTN. Can support the show and get it early for $1 a month or be an executive producer for $5 a month. And that's the truncated version of the show and all the pitches. So blah, 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 blah. Well, everybody, thank you for letting me have the very long goodbye. Now we can actually say goodbye. King, have you already ended your stream, which I assume you probably did?
No, we are still rolling,
Damn
sir.
it. That's too bad. Alright. Well, now we can actually leave because I got to go back to cleaning my house. But it was great talking to you. It was great talking to everybody live. And it was great, and weird. Because I was actually expecting to talk about this and divert the show, but I was very good. I did not once mention the Persona 5 manga. So, Gab, I'm very sorry. I failed you all.
I like the Persona 5 manga.
Are you all caught up?
I have all the volumes already. Well,
yeah,
just the English
sorry, have you read them, I mean?
Some of it. I haven't caught up completely yet, but I think I'm on volume 2.
Okay, it gets better, dips in 3, maybe a little into 4, but after 5, it's been up for me. That's my thoughts.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's a cool little, a distraction, really.
Okay.
But I'm sure it'll get better, like you said.
Alright, everybody, I'm going to press the end stream button, so before I go, I'm just going to remind you all, don't forget, tomorrow, tweet at DavidCastRPG, Persona 3 Remake Pro, announced, happening, and if you want to be extra fun, you can tweet at King Narukami or Kamurocho Bros and say, Yakuza Ishin also confirms Switch Pro coming out tomorrow. Because why
If
not?
only we got Ishin here in the West. That's a dream, right?
One day. One day it'll happen. Goodbye,
No,
everybody.
it's never going to happen. See you guys.
I gotta go, so I'll talk